So we're going to film a friend of ours, Lacey Lee. She's up in Whistler, so we're gonna go meet her right now. This is what our vehicle looks like when we're getting ready to travel. Completely organized. Like, you've never seen anything this organized. So we'll see you on the road. We got there in the later afternoon and set up camp. Found Lacey, did our introductions, and started going over the video ideas she wanted to film on this trip, and learned there was about 3 to 4 videos that she had in mind. 1. A truck review, for the sponsor that gave her the 2500 HD Silverado for 2 weeks. 2. A message from the universe, a reflection style video of all the things that had happened leading up to this trip and on the first half of this trip. And 3. Her last trip with Freya, touching on how this would be the last trip with her RV, which she named Freya. After living in it for the last 12 months, she's now selling it, which is a bittersweet. Today is all about getting shots of the truck. But before we start shooting anything, I always take a moment and go over the file types and codecs the clients prefer to use and what film settings they want. Things like white balance and frame rates, to avoid issues and make sure they get the footage they want the way they want it. We drove to some places nearby that she had in mind and started filming. Lacey uses a script, which I love and highly recommend people do, as it keeps you and everybody else on track, knowing what to say and what comes next. And by the end of the day, this will have saved you so much time. Something I've come to learn about Lacey is that she has amassed over 1.1 million views and over 9,000 subscribers, and did so using only her cell phone and a GoPro to shoot the videos and a tablet to edit them. This is something I wanted to point out because I hear all the time from people that they don't have the gear to start their channel, and it's people like Lacey that really show how little you need to get out and start creating. Something I noticed while we were out shooting is Lacey is still in the mindset of being grounded and filming things herself, which is very common. She would often ask if I could stand outside of the truck so she could drive past me for a shot. And really this was no problem at all. However, in my mind, I'm thinking I could fly closely along the side of the truck with the drone and then push out to reveal the lake that was hidden behind the tree line. But this changed quickly after showing Lacey a couple shots so she could see what options she had available to her. A few hours pass, and Lacey is now confident that we have all the shots we need for the truck review, and we head back to camp to prepare to go meet her friends at Whistler and start working on the second video.
At the village in Whistler.
We get back to camp, and my batteries from shooting all morning need to be charged a bit before we go out and start shooting more. We charged up the gear for a bit, and took off to go meet Lacey's friends. Coming into Whistler, we got a couple of shots, and a call saying that the gondola would be closing soon. The plan was to meet and do the peak to peak, so now we were in a rush to find Lacey's friends, and of course got lost trying. We literally had to run from Whistler Village to Blackcomb Mountain and had 10 minutes to get there, which ended up being fine because we had the Terminator chasing us. We met them at the base of the Blackcomb Gondola and made it up just before 4:30. We got to the top of the mountain, however, to find out that it was in fact not 4:30, but sooner that it closed. We got to the top and they said if we get here now, then we'll be able to go peak to peak. But now we're being told we can't go peak to peak, after all paying $80 a pop to do so. So make a note for yourself, if you're ever going to Whistler and intend on doing the peak to peak, make sure you get there and have enough time before it closes. We ended up exploring around the top of Blackcomb for about 30 minutes. We took some pictures, and then we headed back down to the Whistler village. Best $80 spent all trip. The girls walked around for a bit, we got some ice cream, later had some dinner, and headed back to camp for the night. We woke up and made our way over to Lacey's trailer as we did each morning, where we would make a plan for the day and go over the things she still needed to shoot. None of us knew the area, so we looked on Google Earth to get some ideas, and then we were off to some nearby lakes to see what we could find. We went down a road that was closest to Daisy Lake, just south of where we were staying. We drove down it for a bit and found a nice spot to get some of the establishing shots for Lacey's reflection video. And poor Jasper was so scared of the drone, so I flew past him quickly to avoid Jasper getting too riled up. We couldn't find a place to shoot the 360 shot of the truck as the road was only open on one side. So we headed south to a cool wooden bridge just off Highway 99 that led to Lucille Lake, I believe it's called. And here, Lacey got exactly the shot that she was hoping for. After getting the 360 shot, we parked and hiked up 15 minutes to Lucille Lake, where we were able to get a few really nice shots of Lacey swimming, and even little Jasper jumped in to her rescue. At this point, we got all the shots that we needed for the daylight, but we still had some shots to get later that evening without the sun. So Bianca and I took a couple hours and just relaxed and recharged. Darkness came, and we shot about 5 different scenes, which landed us around 2 a.m. This brings us to the last 2 days, one of which was the worst day of my professional life. I hope you've enjoyed the first half of this video, and I'll be posting the second half next week. If you don't want to miss out, subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified of when it releases. And until then, I hope you're happy, healthy, and loving life. And if not, do something about it. See ya.